should be still saying setting up for the live.
Hi, Janine.
Sometimes.
Hey,
Hi,
Bill.
Janine. How's it going? Okay, says we're live.
Good.
Wow, Kristi's already got a thumbnail up and everything for us. Wow, we look professional today. All right, we are live. Let me get over to our YouTube. Just make sure that we're scrolling there. Good. Looks like we are. Okay, so let me pull this up on this page. Get my YouTube where I can see it. Okay, so here we are. It's Valentine's Day. We're live today. To those of you that were hoping to see us yesterday, I know it was a couple of days and then we were supposed to go live yesterday and I wasn't feeling too good. I was down and I wasn't feeling good. And then last night I went to take my pills to go to bed and my bedtime pills were gone. And so apparently I took my bedtime pills at morning time. And I think that's why I wasn't feeling too good.
I have a really funny story about that. It's funny now because my grandmother's passed. But one time she stayed with me for a whole week and she had her morning pills and her night pills. Well, she slept all day on the couch. Like I could not wake her up. I'm like, what is wrong with this lady? I mean, she just would not wake up. So the entire week she stayed at my house. I gave her night medication in the morning and her daytime medication at night. The entire week. I had no idea. So that just reminded me of that.
That's pretty crazy. We have a YouTube viewer over there named Positive Polly. Positive Polly, good to see you. Hello. See you say hello over there. Nice to have you. There is a link in the description to the web page that I'm about to show. I'm going to first, make a few little introductions here and let you know who I am and who my people are here, right? These are all my friends, our community. A few of them are tied directly to me and I make some money on, and a few of them are not. We all kind of hang out here and we show people how to make money on the internet, primarily using a company called HBA. And I'm going to show the website down below because this website down below is how we can help you to make sales by using our replicating page. This is only one way that you can make sales, but this is a way that I can help the community myself to do that. And of course, all of us come together and share different aspects of the business and help to make sales. Then you can share this page out. So I've been doing this internet marketing thing since really since about 2000, maybe even before that. We built our first actual web page in 2000. I started programming way before that. Was computer club president in my high school in 93. And so, I've been doing this computer thing and this home business thing. I was in Amway around 94, 95. So been doing this a long time. We are debt free. We've paid our house off and our cars and paid our daughter's college and gave her a car for graduation. So we've done pretty well over the years. We know a little bit about what we're talking about. I wouldn't say that we're experts by any means, but we've had some pretty decent successes, So anyways, around me here is John. He's a good friend of ours. We got Bill, we got Danny, Janine, and my wife, Kristi. And we just come here daily-ish, right, is what we call this, and try to give value back to each of our lists. And that's the idea here is to give value, to give training to each other, and just share, what's happening, what's working, get things checked off if people need help or whatever it is, and try to improve the marketplace, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show the website I was talking about, and then we'll carry on with some content here. So here is the website that is in the description if you happen to be on my YouTube. If you came here from somebody's list, this is the link that you should have clicked on, and you'll see these two buttons here. The Mastermind Collection, I actually should have removed that button. It's a little late now, but you can get over the Mastermind Collection, get a bunch of free books, get over to our daily audio training where you can learn more about the Grow Rich audios and stuff like that. And then our Join the Community. And this is how you get started directly with HBA. This is where you go over and get in our all-in-one business. It's $25, pays 80% with just one sale. They have actually paid up over $5 million in commissions now. And with just one sale a week, you can make up to $74,000 a year, 2 sales a week, up to $150,000 a year, and just 3 sales up to $224,000 a year. I like to point out down here, there's a whole bunch of bonuses that I've pointed out in depth a few times over the weeks. And there's a total value of $12,253 in bonuses that you get to keep, all for just $25. When you click on this green button, you can also get 2 weeks free of our Traffic and Conversions Academy. Click this button. You'll get a 3-day reminder that they're going to charge you $125 after 2 weeks if you don't cancel. If you don't love it, cancel. If you do love it, keep it. And then you can also make 80% commissions on this, which pays $100 a month. This teaches you everything about how to get traffic, how to get sales, and everything that you need to know about all kinds of different traffic sources. So it's a great product, has all of our daily live masterminds and all that kind of stuff in it. Let me run back over here real quick, run down the page. Oops, not this one, this page. There's a little chat here. If you got a question, drop a little note in the chat. We'll get it here and we will answer it as soon as we can, either on this live or another one. And then there's the replays from the last weekish or so. And I do delete them after a little while. And then there's some testimonials and some Q&As down below here. A couple other buttons. You can get our Goal app for $10 a month. It also pays 80% commissions, and some Q&As. And this little box right here is the important one. Once you join, or if you're already part of HBA, you can put in your token here. And I always like to throw in somebody's name. Let's see. I don't know if I put Danny's name in here before, so I'll throw Danny's name in here. Danny Youngers. And then what happens is when you click on this button, it creates a new version of the URL to this page. And it also causes these buttons all to get tagged. See right down here, you can see that it now has Danny Younger's name on the end of it. Now, of course, that's not Danny's token, but that shows you that these buttons will change to be your buttons when you send people over to the correct tokened link. And that's how you get credit for it. When I click on those buttons with that link, now you can see it's got my token down there. If I do an incognito window, you can see that opens up with that link in there. And that goes over, of course, to Grow Rich audios. And then this goes over to, you can see we can get to the digital wealth formula from here. And you can start with the All-in-One Academy through that way also. So it's a great way for us to help you get sales and for you to learn a lot about our business. Learn how our heart-centered community can better serve you while you seek prosperity online. All right, so that's about what I've got for today. And not for today, for today. And we're done. See ya. No, today what we want to talk about is we want to talk about motivation. We want to talk about what it is that you do to keep yourself motivated when you just really don't want to do stuff, right? Or when things are not going your way. Like I heard some interview that they talked to who did I say the baseball name?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. They talked to Babe Ruth and they said, you know, Babe, when you're not getting home runs and you keep striking out, you keep striking out, what do you do different? And Babe Ruth said, well, I don't do anything different. I just keep swinging, right? And he said, it works. I just keep swinging until I start getting home runs again, you know? So he gets in a little rut. He knows it works, right? So he doesn't do anything different. He just does what he does until he gets back into the groove again, right? So that's kind of what we want to talk about. Now, we also want to hit on what if you're not doing things right? Right? There's things, of course, that you don't want to do the things wrong all the time. Babe Ruth knew how to get home runs. Now, of course, the way he got home runs was he swung as hard as he possibly could at every single ball, and he tended to strike out a lot because of that. So that's just the way he went about it, but that worked for him. And so what we got to do too is help you to learn how to do some things right. So that's also what we want to talk about here. So one of the things that I've found is you need to work on your reasons to do things, right? And it's weird because over the years, sometimes we find ourselves having a little motivation problem because we tend to have a little too much money, right? You ever find yourself in that situation? Um, uh, if you live comfortable too long, then you can find yourself to where you start to lose reasons to do things. It's one of the things that the astronauts talked about too. The astronauts that went to the moon, that was like their big goal, their last goal in life. And then they went to the moon. And when they came back, they had severe depression because there was nothing left bigger than going to the moon. So they didn't know what else to do with their lives. Their whole life purpose was over, basically. And I know that's a pretty big, jump, being too much money and going to the moon. But the ideas are kind of similar, right? We always kind of work. Our whole goal in life is sort of to have enough money to live. And then when you get there, it's like, wow, I got enough money. So do I still need to do these things? But if you don't, the next thing you know is you're bordering again on you don't have enough money, right? So you got to keep a good balance. You got to keep good goals and have reasons to fuel you every day to keep going. So anybody else got any ideas on what they do to keep them going when they...
I have some thoughts on that. So I kind of have this process in my head where I allow myself one day, if I'm not feeling it, if I just feel like, I don't want to do any work. I don't want to do the dishes even. I don't want to clean the house. Nothing. I allow myself that one day. One day I can do absolutely nothing. And then on day 2, I have to at least do the minimum. I have to at least get up and take a shower, and I have to at least clean up something, just whether it's just the dishes. And then that's like what my mindset, that by day 3, there is no excuses. I am back to it. Day 3. I don't care if I want to or not. I force myself. So I allow myself that one day to do nothing, sit in bed all day long and cry if I want to. Day 2, I at least have to be alive. I at least have to participate in life in some way. And then by day 3, that's it. No more excuses. You have to get back to it, whether you want to or not. And that's always worked for me. So that's kind of how I combat motivational issues, is when I am really feeling down, I just give myself that one day, and that's usually enough to put me right back on track. So that's kind of how I do it. Anybody else have any thoughts on motivation and this entrepreneur crazy world?
I like the one thing because I try to make sure, whether it's family or work wise, I try to do that one thing. Because if I'm not contributing, and like I just get in a whole different space that I don't like.
Yep. It seems like that one thing just kind of catapults you right back into being the person that you want to be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Janine, you came unmuted there for a minute. Did you have something?
I did. I never have a second thought about coming to Granny's. Now the online work is a little different because I'm trying to work it in with working. So suggestions, thoughts, help?
Well, sometimes some of the things you can do is just go with the intent to go do your work for 5 minutes. I'm just going to go in and research something. I'm just going to go look this up. I'm just going to go see if somebody needs something. I'm just going to go in and look at the Facebook group, right? And then the next thing you know, you've been in here for 2 hours and you got some stuff done, that's what I tend to do. Now, is it real productive? No, maybe not necessarily, but sometimes helping somebody, for me at least, gets me back on track. It will pull me back into, this is what I really want to do anyways. For me, it's not even really the money so much as hearing somebody else say, it's because Jim helped me do this. It's because, that thing you showed me, Jim, or the other day, I think maybe it was Danny Younger's or maybe Danny K. I don't remember which one, was like, I was watching Jim and Kristi on their daily-ish live, and I was like, hey, that's all right, So those are the kinds of things, I got 6 awards from, I don't know if you can see them back there. I got 6 awards up there from HBA from just helping people. So those kinds of things keep me motivated to come back. Those are some of my reasons.
I did have something like that happen to me this week on the Monday night call. Karen, 2 different times, she mentioned my name and how I had done something to help her. And I almost didn't get on the call. I almost said, you know what? I'm just going to sit here and color and I'm not going to do the call. Jim, you just let me know what happened. I almost, but then I got on that call and 2 times she mentioned my name and how I have motivated her or inspired her in some way. And I'm telling you, I was so thankful. I thanked God all night that he gave me that little nudge to go ahead and get on the call, because it lighted up my world. It sure did. So yeah, just that little nudge sometimes can be enough.
So,
No, I have
so-
been having,
Sorry.
I've been having a lot of fun playing with AI pictures and taking, what thing people say or whatever and making a picture from it, or the song from the Grow Rich, Yep.
So can I say
Yeah.
where I feel like
Yeah.
I'm like stuck? Like John Hudi has a story. John Hudi wants to share that story, and he wants to be part of the world. And I'm just like, and I know my ultimate goal here is to market the HBA in a fashion that fits me in a way. But I honestly don't know what that looks like to the real world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what does that look like? And that's where I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to soak everything in and just, when it's my moment, it's going to be my moment. And I'm just going to like hit it that way. I don't, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I could do some Facebook ads and, like I can figure all that stuff out, but getting that real authentic traffic through Facebook, through YouTube and all that stuff, like that's where I'm struggling to find my niche, I guess.
Yeah, I would say remember that it's a journey and you might start here. And throughout that journey, you're going to go like this and like this and like this. And so you are going to find your voice and it is going to come out. But most times you start down here and you just put, even if it's one thing you learned that day, if somebody says something on the morning call that inspires you, find out how you can relate that to your life or why that inspired you and share yourself in stories. We talked about stories before, and you have such an amazing and inspirational story that you have come away from tragedy and you are still doing everything you can to better your life and to better your family's life. And if you can take the skills that you're learning, because you are learning every day, and you can relate that to your life and your story and just share that, it's just going to keep on. It's just going to keep on and keep, just like the stock market. If you look at that, and you're going to find it, but it's going to take a lot of self-discovery. It's going to take a lot of peeling away those onions, and you're just going to wake up one day and you're going to be like, how did this happen? You know, how did I become this successful online entrepreneur when, you know, in 2024, I didn't know what I was. And it just happens that way, but you have to trust in the process. You have to keep on putting yourself out there, keep on being vulnerable, and keep on being your authentic self. And the only way you can do that is by learning and then sharing from your heart. And you're very good at that.
Yeah, that morning call, like I try to promote that a little bit in Facebook and stuff, because that honestly has been a game changer for me and my wife. Like,
yeah, me too. Same thing.
mm,
And I've listened to that morning call a lot. And I will tell you, when I became the harmonic engineer, it changed me because I really started listening. So if I could encourage anybody when they're on that call to have pen and paper, write down notes. Don't do that while you're doing your dishes. Don't do that while you're, you know, putting a puzzle together. Do that and only that. Because when I did that, when I stopped taking my phone and folding laundry while I was on the call, my life changed in such a way that if anybody can take one piece of advice from me for the morning call, is just sit down with pen and paper and write what you hear and write what you feel, because things are going to be coming up that, you know, they will say something that sparks this idea. And if you don't have pen and paper sitting there, you're not going to remember, because there's going to be 300 other things that you want to keep in your brain. So that's my advice. And on Fridays, it's really hard to do that with Paul. So sometimes we have to listen to Fridays a couple times to get all the notes we want to get. So that's my advice for that. It definitely changed my life when I made that shift.
Our friend on YouTube, Positive Polly, said you all are sharing some very good ideas. So just wanted to say that. Also wanted to say to John, you know, Paul kind of shifted gears in the last year or two and kind of stopped talking to his quote unquote audience. He stopped talking to his niche and just kind of started talking to everybody. Now, a lot of people say, you know, you need to really niche down specific. And I think probably you do. So maybe you do for a while. I don't know for sure where that goes into, but I know that Paul is talking a lot more to a broad audience now with his daily good parts, and maybe learn from that a little bit. Learn from Paul, watch him a little closer than you do. I don't know how close you do, you know. And
Yep.
and also I could say that I think with you, like when you get your wood business going, you could probably impact some of those people. Look for people that kind of want to get into the wood business, kind of like what Kristi's doing with her baking business and the baking academy, and see who you can affect in that way. Not necessarily just people that want to buy wood, but people that want to do wood also, you know.
so yeah,
So
I'm super stoked about that. And like my whole thoughts was like, I've been doing that for 10 years. And if I would have had a way to capture everybody's emails for the last 10 years, could you imagine the return business that I would have right now?
Absolutely.
right. And
Like
it's such a
I'm
big deal
picturing that
that,
in my head. I'm like, I could just send
you
out an
know,
email and capture everybody. And John's got a new product. And if I would have had
well,
that
and
10
it's,
years ago, it would have been
you
a
know, it's
game
the same
changer.
thing with almost any business too. I mean, I tell my sister all the time, why are you not collecting she cuts hair. And I'm like, why are you not collecting your hair client emails? And she's like, well, I got their text. I'm like, yeah, but you want to sit and text them all? I mean, come on. And she does. She sits and texts them all. I'm like, it's so crazy, you know?
Yeah, she sent him a Thanksgiving note, and she must have spent 8 hours on her phone texting. Of course, I was just laughing because I just sent one email and my whole list I got to say happy Thanksgiving to, but she was just on her phone the whole time. I was like, oh my gosh, you're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, slow times, you can just send a $5 off coupon or whatever. And people
Right.
love that.
And especially, yeah, I mean, like her, if she finds that she's not got a client for or a low spot or whatever, she could send something out and say, hey, I got an opening, come right now, or call and book something right now. And she could get it out to, I don't know, I mean, hundreds of people instead of sending out text messages. I was like, I can't believe you do it that way, but she
Nothing
does
I
it.
have ever been in has ever mentioned, besides HVA, email list.
Right.
They call
Well, and
that traditional marketing, by the way. I learned that today.
email marketing.
Email is called traditional, like a billboard or whatever. Emailing somebody is considered traditional marketing.
Yeah. Well, and we actually started email marketing in 2000, started building a list with GetResponse in 2000. But the same thing, we lost our business. We kind of closed up and we're out of the internet business for a while. So we just lost our lists and stuff. And so it doesn't really do much better to lose all those people either, so anyways.
That's where consistency comes in. You can't take a couple years off and think that your list is gonna just be responsive right away.
Yeah, well, there was so many changes in the industry. We really thought it was time to stop, so we both got jobs again, and then decided it was time to stop that too. So anyways, all right, let's anybody else got any ideas on that line of thought? If not, I'm going to transition into some Facebook stuff. Maybe give John a few ideas on his woodworking and see what we got there. Positive Polly, if you've got any ideas over there or need some help, we're gonna move into some other kind of advertising ideas. We'd love to get your thoughts on it as well. And I'm gonna check our messages here.
So Jim, I'm probably gonna kick off making tables within the next couple of weeks and selling within the next month.
Okay.
So I was thinking like even maybe an early ad, like early bird ad, and get some pre-orders going.
Right. Okay. So let me go over to Facebook and I'll show you a couple of things that I've been working on. Let me go to this screen. Actually, I'm not going to want to work on that screen, so let me stop that screen. Let me share this screen, and I'll just move this.
And hear me out on this one, because we're Facebook, we're pay per click, correct?
Yes.
So when we're targeting our target market, I've noticed mainly my customers are because of the female gender, because they make the decision on whether they want a picnic table in their home. It's not usually the man.
Right.
So would it be worth just versus males, or doing like a split test on that?
Yeah, I would probably try a couple different things and see. I mean, you kind of know already. I mean, if you've primarily sold to females, then I would say probably I would stay with a female target. I think it sort of depends on who starts that interaction. Is it the male that shows it to his wife and then the wife says, hey, that's a good idea? Or, so that kind of matters,
Does Facebook give us that sort of information? If I
no,
did
not really. I
if
guess
there's a
what
male
I'm
or
saying
female
more or less
looking
is
at
like
my ad.
if you were at like the flea market or something, do you notice that the guy stops and was like, hey hon, look at this, and then she's like, yeah, let's get that,
I did some research on it, and it was like 80% female are
Yeah.
the ones that would pick the outdoor furniture,
Okay. So what we'll
which
do
is
is
pretty
we'll
high, I
go,
think.
yeah, it's pretty high. And again, it's probably worth split testing to see. Now the same thing on that is, that gives you an idea too, how to decorate things like that, how to form your ads so that you're speaking a little more to the female audience, and things like that. I wanted to show you this ad in particular because this is the ad that I got nixed on. So this one says, what is affiliate marketing and why should you care? Affiliate marketing is a $17 billion per year industry and growing. The product creator provides all the support and fulfillment of services, so you don't have to earn 4% to 100% commissions for referring customers. Affiliates can work from home, from anywhere, as long as they have Wi-Fi and a phone/laptop. Flexible schedule allows affiliates to work days, nights, or anything in between. And then here's the part where I think got me. No limits on earnings. With affiliate marketing, the sky is the limit on income. So I think had I not had that line, that they would have let this fly. And I could have put in, a little less hypiness, a little more factual based income claim there, because all the rest is pretty factual. And this is factual, but like I tried to change it and say, with affiliate marketing, you earn as much as you work, or something like that. More like it depends on what you do for your income. But of course, now that it's run once, I can't change it. I have to create a whole new one. So anyway, so they did let it run once, and I was able to get 29 post engagements, 11 cents per engagement, and then 4 link clicks, which must have been over to my actual page. But this was just my engagement link, just so I could get some likes and stuff. And then I was trying to do the one for the actual click post, and then they denied that one. So this is the kind of thing that they don't like, but you're not really going to run into that for picnic tables. Now when you try to run it the other way, if you were to try to run it the other way and say, do you want to learn how to build picnic tables and make money? Then this is the kind of thing that you might want to try to avoid, is with building picnic tables, that the income is unlimited, so just keep that kind of in mind. Their reasoning was, this shows it here. If you click, is it in here? Rejected for.
How did you get that picture to show up?
What's that?
How did you get the picture for the link on the ad? Because I know sometimes if you put the link in, it'll pull up your what do they call
the same way I tried to show you last time. So sometimes it seems to do it right, and sometimes it doesn't. Seems to have to do something with the size of the actual image. Remember how
did you put that image in yourself, or is that
I put the image in the post.
Okay.
And then when you connect it to a link, it adds the link in. But the last one that I showed you, it made it kind of looked more like this when it made the post, where this one it turned it the right way. So I don't exactly know. It's something to do with the size of the image, I believe. And I'll show you on the next one too. So the ad can't run because of unrealistic outcomes policy issue. And that unrealistic outcomes is that one line that I was showing. So now I have another one running that is this over to the Mastermind Collection. Unlock the Wealth Within, the Grow Rich Mastermind Collection, and then the same thing. This link, this image is, so what I did was I created this post, and then I boosted the post. So when you boost the post, so if I boost it again, it'll come up and it'll say, how do you want to do this? And it'll say, well, it's already got a link, so it won't let me do that. But now I can change it from more engagement to website visitors, and I could save that. And then it makes the image clickable then with that link in there. So that's how that happens. And then like that last time, that other one just turned it sideways for whatever reason. Now, the big thing to really note is when you go to make your audience, you don't want to do your audience in here because it doesn't give you enough options. So you want to click on this create new, and you want to come down here to ads manager. And then you want to go over to, once you get to the ad manager, you want to create an audience and you want to do a saved audience. And then it's going to open this up. Then you want to name your audience. So like you would do, let's say you would just name it picnic table, right? Picnic table. And then you would say you don't want United States. So you would get closer to your location like I showed you before. And then your age, probably you're going to want to come off of the 18-year-old because they're probably not quite your market.
I was thinking homeowner, you know what I mean? Like,
right. So probably
28 to
right. And then your 65 and up's not going to hurt you too much because you're not talking about tech problems like I talk about, you know. So that's going to open up your audience fairly large. And it shows you somewhere what your audience is. It hasn't shown it yet. And then you could say just women. Usually shows right around here what the estimate is. And then, of course,
It's because you didn't do the location.
what, sweetie?
It's because you didn't do the location.
Oh, it's because I didn't do a location.
50-mile radius.
Yeah. What state do you live in?
Michigan.
Michigan. So we'll just do that for now. There you go. So that gives you 2.7 to 3.2 million. And then of course your languages probably want to go English all. And then your demographics, you know, it's hard to really say. You may want to go, like you said, homeowners, home and garden,
outdoors or something.
Yeah. Home and garden, maybe.
I like that home improvement.
Then you could go, once you get one in here, you can go with the suggestions. And then you've got like house real estate, home improvement, apartment. You probably don't want apartment, right? So that's something that you might actually narrow with, is go in here and say apartment. And actually real estate interest, get rid of people that no, not narrow. There's a different one for that. Add exclusions. So put in an exclusion of apartments. Because this one is, they must also match. You don't want them to also like apartments. You want them to be
So there you might put
excluded if they're into apartments. Probably. I mean, some people might buy them for apartments, right? But probably they're going to be homeowners, like you said.
Yeah, and if you are targeting specifically homeowners, you are not talking to people who are in an apartment, because you're going to have that voice that is speaking to homeowners.
Right.
And people in an apartment just are not going to speak that language.
Right. Now, you could do something for apartments where you did like maybe a fold up type, or maybe one of those that like a bench that folds into a picnic table, and then talk specifically to apartment people or something. I don't know, just an idea there. And then so you could go here with suggestions, and you could go, you know, house real estate, you could go new house, you could go first time buyer. You know, there's a bunch of them. So you could just keep adding and adding and adding. And then I don't know if you really have a must also match. I mean, not really a good reason to narrow from this audience other than excluding maybe a few other people, you know. I don't know who else you might really want to exclude either. So this is
Yeah,
going to
I
get
can't
your
really think either.
this is going to get your, so this narrowed you down to 5,600,000, 568
There you
hundred
go.
thousand,
That sounds better.
whatever that is. Of course, you know, this is all of Michigan, but you wouldn't have to narrow much further than this. Get a
I
little
would,
narrower to your audience, to your location.
I wouldn't want to deliver any further than like 100 miles, but
Right,
if
right,
they're willing to come pick it up, I'm not gonna stop them.
right. But as far as like this stuff down here, I probably wouldn't narrow the demographic a whole lot. You
Right.
could get into some other interests like maybe some magazines. I don't know what might come up if we did magazines like Fashion Magazine, People Magazine. Let's see, Outside Magazine might be one that
There you
would be
go.
a decent one. I don't know what else really. I mean, it'd be a good thing to get to do a little research on and see. You know, maybe some barbecue magazines, maybe even just barbecue, right? Could be a good one. Barbecue cooking could be an interest. You may even be able to do picnic, right? Picnic food and drink. Um, Add in something like that. There's another 2 million, 200. That didn't add much to it though. So, but and that's the way you do it. Then once you get this kind of wherever you want it, you just save this audience. So you would come up here and do, let's see, somewhere save it. Oh, here it is.
Yep,
Great,
right
save
there.
audience. And then here's your picnic table audience. Then when you go to your ad, what I normally do then is just refresh your ad, and then your audience will be in there now, and then you can just pick it. So you could make, you know, several different ones, whatever, to test a couple of different markets. I tend to like to kind of run the same one over and over. And depending, you know, if you can get real narrow, which you will kind of get pretty narrow as you get closer to the house, then they'll see your ads sometimes over again. So you can kind of brand, you could kind of show the same people your different stuff. So people that will have bought from you. You can also get your pixel in there, and then you can also run to your pixel after a while. You can set up your pixel pretty easy through the funnel builder. So just do a little research on that, or we can try and work it out one day. And
The metapixel, that's like, oh, is that my logo?
no, this is basically a dot on your web page that starts to build an audience, so that you can then run ads to that audience.
I'd like to learn more about that later.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little research on it too. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do have mine set up just because I have been running some ads and stuff. So, hey, what's going on, Bryce and Danny? I don't know if I said hi to you.
Good day.
I saw you there.
Hey, Bryce.
And there's not really much to it other than that, other than like I said with the goal, there is, you can let them do it automatic. You can get more engagement, which I don't know. I'm still kind of torn on. I've been doing $1 a day for 4 days to get a few likes on my posts, and then I switch over to however much I want to spend just to basically like I'll pump out a $10 a day and see if I can get any amount of web visitors right away. If I notice in that first $10 in that first day that I'm just not getting anything, I'll just pause it. You can just come right into your ad. Like if I come over here, you can see that you can come right into your ad at any time. It's not like a TikTok ad. Once you pay for your TikTok ad, you're in. Here, when you boost a post, you can come in here and you can pause it at any time. So this one's going on for $4. You can come right up here, click this switch, that shuts it off. Your budget is no longer being spent. So you don't have to worry
I will
about
say this on pausing your
they don't like it.
boost. Well, it's not I think what I have to say has nothing to do with that, but it depends on what kind of content that you're boosting, because for instance, the type of content that I'm boosting on my particular page is memes that we're creating every single day. And I want these memes to get shared. My goal is more than just likes, although I do want the interactions, and the reactions get more exposure. But ultimately, I'm looking for shares. I'm looking for people to share that content and boosting it. I find that the initial reaction in the first couple of days is pretty lame, and then after that, the result is exponential. It starts multiplying against itself after it gets like the first share by somebody else other than you. It starts to take off and have a life of its own. And I think that pausing it in the middle may be shortchanging yourself, depending on the type of content that it is. If it's the type of content that is not prone to possibly go viral, then it's probably inconsequential to pause it and unpause it. But if it is the kind of thing that may have the potential to get a life of its own and get traction and start taking off on its own, then you might be hindering yourself by pausing it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't pause it and unpause it. But I would just pause it to kill it. I'm just saying, if you're finding that you're not getting the results you want or thought you would get, like I've had some that, by the end of the day, I got no leads, and I'm like, I've already spent $10 and I got no leads. I'm just done with that, So, where I thought it was going to do good, and I've had some that at the end of $10, I've got 10 to 15 leads, and I'm like, okay, this one's going to go okay, so I'll let that one run, So that's more what I'm saying I'm more saying shut it down, not pause it. But like on TikTok, if you say I want to spend $30 on an ad, you're spending $30 on an ad. So be cautious of what it is you're putting in. On Facebook, you can put in the amount as little as $4. You can add to it, and then you can shut it off, or you can start it off. You can go up to like $2,000 right from the start also. So
yeah, China's not big on China's big on no takebacks.
No takebacks. Also on TikTok, it's cheaper if you pay for your tokens on your computer versus on your phone. So keep that in mind. So you don't have to pay the Apple fees if you pay on your computer. So if you're doing any TikTok ads or boosts, pay on your computer. It's about 20 or 30% cheaper. So,
another great reason to not have Apple.
Yeah. So let's see. Anything else? Any other questions you have about anything here specifically, John? I don't know if I covered.
I think that was good.
Okay. You have a woodworking some sort of page already, right?
No.
Huh?
No, I haven't created anything yet.
Okay. I would probably recommend making a page. I don't know if it's necessarily worth it, but
My honest thought on it, Jim, is like people are gonna come pick up a table from me. I have a square stand for them to check out with me with or whatever and pay.
right.
And right from there, I could just have my page. If they want to sign up for my newsletter, and just have them.
Well, and I meant Facebook page though.
Oh yeah, I have a Hudie's Creations. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
set up and ready to go.
That's what I meant.
I think that's been going. I think that's been going for 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
We got a decent amount of followers. Right now.
Yeah, probably the only reason that I would necessarily get into a page is as far as a web page is if you went into something that was more like flags for front lines, flags for front lines. .us, I think it is. Must be with an S there. He makes these flags and he ships them, so he's actually collecting payment and sending them out all the time. So this would be a lot better reason to have that. Now, you could do a little more like Kristi's Cakery and have a contact here where people could contact you and then do local pickup and that kind of thing, and set up, like you said, your customer relation CRM, and this would do that for you. And you wouldn't need Get Response to do this. It would just go into the back office, since it wouldn't be it depends. You could have Get Response because you could be building a list, but because you're not really building a huge list, you could still just email them.
But I think if I plan on doing it for years, I think it would
Right.
be worth setting a list up and Get Response.
Right. So those are a couple other ideas too. I mean, you do have a page builder already, so it's not like you'd have to buy anything to get another one going, so.
Right. And I could QR code it and
Right.
I could make it real simple.
Um,
Somebody
and-
suggested like QR code right on the picnic table itself.
right.
And that way they know where it came from.
That'd be a good idea to do. See if you can get them done on a little copper plate or something.
Yeah, that's what.
Tack them right on there.
Yeah, I think I can come up with something.
That would be pretty cool.
Just
and
do like a
then-
wood burning stamp or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have a stamp, and I was just having a hard time getting a good way to heat it up and keep it hot and actually burn right into the wood.
Time to weld a threaded rod onto it and screw that into your wood burner.
Right.
Yep. All right. Any questions? We're at the 5 minute to the top of the hour. Kristi has another call at 4, so we gotta wrap it up.
I have to do something at 4 o'clock. I have a Zoom, so y'all are kicked off.
Hi. Thank
All
you.
right.
Gotta
All
make
right,
way
so-
for the bridge club.
That's
Let me,
right.
She's got bingo online or something going on.
Online bingo, girls' night.
Let me go back over to the page and remind everybody how to get involved. You can go here to the mastermind collection. Like I showed, you get all this free stuff over here. And whoever sent you here will get credit. And you can check us out this way for free. And then, of course, if you want to get into our business, you can go right here through the digital wealth formula. Or you can come right in this way and you can get into the all-in-one business and get all the bonuses we talked about and the free click into the premium 14-day trial right here. And this is the best way to get started. You get all the bonuses, you get the freebie, and you will get a 50% off offer for the Financial Literacy Academy also. So check that out. Glad to have everybody here. Positive Polly said that's a good idea on paying on the computer to save on the TikTok ads. It is. And then he said you shared some very good information. Thank you. Our pleasure. Hope to see you tomorrow or the next day. And we'll keep on providing value.
Bye,
Let
everyone.
us know what we
Bye,
can help
guys.
you with. Have a good day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Happy Valentine's Day to y'all.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Bye.